Hey everyone, this is Jennifer Beamer, owner-operator of Actually Dyed Art by Science, and this is the daily vlog, episode number 40. And today I'm going to show you my harp loom. So I posted on my blog a little while ago about having a loom. Now, I never really thought I'd be a weaver, so I never really considered it. And I decided, after realizing that we were going to be in Korea for a little while, I would actually jump on this offer that I found. My go-to gal in Japan had a second-hand harp Heddle loom from Kromski, and when I had been looking for looms before we came to Korea, this was one of them. I was looking at the harp loom, and I think it was a cricket loom. I forget who makes that, maybe Ashland or something. And I wanted something that was going to fold up and tuck away somewhere really nice so that I didn't have to have this giant floor loom in this teeny tiny little apartment. So the harp loom folds up very easily, and because it's a very slender width dimension, I don't know, it's not very tall. That's the dimension I'm looking for. Because of that, I can actually sit it up and tuck it away somewhere, even if it has a project on it, because it's very compact in that way. So I'm going to show you just the loom as it is. Here we go, and that's how big it is. It's really not that big, and it has these little things here that when you flip them up, it folds in half. So this is how big the loom is. It's very small. Like that. And I really enjoyed doing the two projects I've done so far on this loom. It's a pretty decent width, as you can see. I forget exactly how long it is. It's something about 18 inches here. And it has a variety of petals that you can use for it. I have two. I have this big old fat one, and then I have a small one which is suitable for like sport weight yarns. And this one is 2.5 dents per inch. I think that's what it is. So it's perfectly capable of weaving something with the bulky yarn. Which brings me to the project that I did. So my first project was just sort of to use it and figure out how to warp it and, you know, weave with it and blah blah blah, 8 other things. But my next project was supposed to be fun, and I had all of these old t-shirts and a fitted sheet that we were donated. And I decided, instead of using it as rags or just getting rid of it, I decided to use it to make a giant area rug, because we don't have any rugs in our apartment. And sometimes when you sit on the floor to play games, you don't want to sit on the floor. I mean, it's hard. Our floor is basically just plywood with linoleum on top, so it's really not comfortable to sit on. And I decided to make a rug with all of these old bits and make a rag rug as a result. There are a lot of tutorials online for making like braided rugs or like rag rugs with like a giant piece of cardboard, but I actually wanted to use my loom, so that's what I did. However, I noticed that a lot of people will have a weft-faced rug. Basically, they'll use a skinnier yarn or something like that for the warp and something fatter for the weft. Usually, you know, that's where the rag rug part of it comes in. But I had the rags as part of as both the warp and the weft. So I would get a rug that kind of all had the same density. And here is half the rug. Let me show you. So this black is a t-shirt, and so is the red. This grayish color here this, which is the majority of this rug, is actually the bed sheet I was telling you about. And then you can see these gold pieces here, and then I think over here, yeah, this is white. This is silk. Now, when I was first thinking about this project, I decided, okay, how am I going to deal with the tension problem? Because when you use a Heddle loom, you have to have some tension so that you can raise and lower the yarn to create a shed, so you can put your yarn through it. Well, if it's very stretchy, you're going to stretch it, and then it's going to come back on itself when it's no longer being stretched by the loom. So I didn't know really how to figure out how to deal with that properly. So I just used silk. I used silk ribbon yarn to deal with that. It was fun because I was looking for ways to use it, and I think it actually worked really well in that purpose. Because when I took it off the loom, it didn't pop back like I was fearing that it might. So I think it worked out okay. Then I needed to make a second one because this loom only made a 14-inch width, and to make an area rug instead of a runner, I needed to make it fatter. I needed to make it wider. So I had to make two of identical length, and that was going to be difficult. So I kind of skipped the whole idea of lining up the stripes. These stripes, I kind of skipped lining those up, and instead I just kind of I had the general idea of what I wanted to do with the stripes, but I didn't really count or anything like that. I just went on with it, and then when I was all done, I laid it out on the floor and I tied it together. So you can see all my little bits of yarn here that I've used, but this is about how wide it is. And you can see this is the width of one and the width of the other. So it turned out to be a really nice width because it'll fit in front of our couch back here. Wave, Monty, and socket. It'll fit in front of the couch, but it won't interact with what the wheels are doing on the chair. So you can push your chair out from the table and it'll be okay. It won't hit the rug. Plus, we'll be able to play games on the floor and not have to worry about our butts hurting because we'll sit on this beautiful rug. Now, if you've ever made a rag rug, either a braided kind or the other kind I was talking about where you have yarn as the warp and the rags as the weft, you'll know that it takes forever to cut those little strips. Oh my goodness, I think I spent more time cutting all the strips than I spent making 2 rugs. Including the warping part. The warping of it plus the weaving of it took less time for 2 of them than it did to cut all the yarn for it. Obviously. That's always how it goes. Anyway, this one I still need to finish. I lined them all up so that I can make sure that they're going to be the same length, and then I was just going to crochet the bottom edge together like I did here. And then I just tied these strips alternating so that I would hold the crocheted edge in place. And what I love about this is the fact that I can actually wash it. Now, in Korea, they actually think that, well, I don't know about everybody in Korea, but most of the time, Koreans don't like rugs because they're very difficult to clean, and we have a friend who has a Korean wife, and she thinks it's unsanitary to have carpets because you can't clean them very regularly. I think she's referring to the ones that are nailed or stapled down onto the floor. And I kind of agree with her. I like being able to clean our floors, basically our entire apartment from top to bottom, and I think it does make me a little bit healthier knowing that there's nothing growing in my carpet. But like I said, it's nice to have something soft on the floor, and with this, you can just pop it in the washing machine and you'll let it air dry. So it'll be great for that. Anyway, so I have that project done, and I have another one that I'm planning to do with some old jeans. Mr. IT guy got some new jeans, so he had to clear out the old ones. And I'm hoping to make a little Persian style or Persian influenced rug with it, where you have like the hand knots so that it has sort of like a shag appearance, to use in the bedroom, because sometimes when it's in the weather before you turn on the floor, but it's still kind of chilly in the morning, you get out of bed, your feet are all nice and warm. You don't want to just shock them by putting them on cold floor. So that'd be kind of nice, like in October before we actually turn on the floor. It's nice here in the cooler weather. You don't have to turn on the heat until like really November, because the winters here are pretty mild. It does get cold, you know, it snows, but it doesn't get cold like negative 20 degrees like it does in Chicago, which is where we're from. So anyway, that's the project, and I'm hoping to actually do a video where I'm actually weaving at some point in the future, but I'm not quite there yet. I'm still really terrible at weaving. So I think once I actually get a little better, I will show you how I'm doing it. But I wanted to show you the loom because I'm so proud of this incredible find. I really didn't think I was going to get such an inexpensive loom. It's really kind of expensive brand new. So secondhand, the price I paid was extremely reasonable. Anyway, so if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. You can also post comments or questions or suggestions below, and I usually get back to those pretty quickly. If you want, you can find me over on Facebook and follow me on Twitter, and you can also check out my blog where I will post pictures and tutorials and patterns and, you know, other kinds of projects, fibery and maybe not so fibery related, there on the blog. And if you want, you can also offer some suggestions for things that you want to see me post on the blog as well. So head over there and check it out. Anyway, if there's anything else I missed, let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye!